On Monday, April 25, or Anzac Day, the Glenbrook Vintage Railway's DBR 1254 hauled yet another popular excursion train. It was the first time she had been down the Kinleith Branch since February 2020. The excursion started on the GVR itself, and I was one of at least 100 odd people who joined the train at Matamata station. This is the only place on the Kinleith Branch to retain a station building, with the last regular passenger service being the Geyserland Express. This was an Auckland to Rotorua service that ran from 1991 to 2001, and made use of the Silverfern rail cars. Before the DBR came along, we got the usual freight train to Kinleith, of course. On this occasion, DL 9452 was on the 482/483 run. Then two Hobbiton buses showed up to pick up passengers that joined the train further up the line. Not even 20 minutes after train 482 had passed, DBR 1254 showed up with excursion train C03. By this time the platform was absolutely packed with people who had turned up for a ride to Tokoroa, myself included. I was allocated a seat on board AA 1258, the first coach behind the locomotive. And here's the uninterrupted sound of the DBR's V8 prime mover as the excursion left Matamata. Not too far down the line, we pass the tiny settlement of Hinuera. This place is on the main road from Tauranga to Hamilton, otherwise known as State Highway 29, and I've lost count of how many times I've gone over that crossing. This was the Totman Road crossing in Okoroire, one of the spots I stopped at to film JA1240 in November 2012. Back to the present day, and we find ourselves passing the small town of Tiro. This place is notable for the old brick water tower and being a waypoint on State Highway 1. Further down the line, we pass through the town of Putaruru. My family does have some form of a historical connection with this town, as my great auntie used to have a toy world shop here, but unfortunately it closed down many years ago. On this occasion, the DBR passed DL 9469 and train 474 running from Strathmore Siding to Hamilton. Round the corner from the old station site, we pass the junction for the old Rotorua branch. This line closed in the early 2000s, and a small preservation group is based in Nongotaha, a small town around 7 kilometres from the centre of Rotorua.
So we're due out of Tokoroa, we're due into Tokoroa at 1:20, so we're just a couple of minutes away. We ask you all to be back on the train by about 2:20, 2:25 at the latest, 2:20 or 2:25 at the latest. So it's just me again, just another quick announcement. The track to our right hand side is an active Kiwirail freight train track, so please keep well away from that railway line. When we stop here at Tokoroa, we're just pulling in now to the loop here. We will be disembarking on the left hand side. To make your way into the town, head all the way to the front of the train and walk down the footpath alongside the road at the crossing in front of us. Once again, please do keep well away from the train track to our right hand side. There is planned freight train movements while we have our train stationed here. While we're sitting here, our locomotive will detach and head down to Kinleith, which is about 5 minutes down the road. It will turn around and head back to Tokoroa here and attach to the back of the train as we know it now, which will then become the front of the train.
After at least 3/4 of an hour on the train, the passengers all disembarked in Tokoroa while DBR 1254 left the coaches in the loop and ran light engine to Kinleith. Unfortunately, this level crossing still hasn't got barriers, despite being in a busy town. You can probably guess what sometimes happens here. During the layover in Tokoroa, passengers could either go looking around the town or stay with the coaches. As for me, I went and got some lunch from the nearby New World supermarket, and somehow I made it back in time to film DL 9452 passing by on her way back to Mount Maunganui. Not even 15 minutes later, the DBR came back after being turned on the triangle at Kinleith. It wasn't long before DBR 1254 coupled up to the coaches and set off again. The ride back up the Kinleith Branch was actually pretty fun, as dumb as that sounds, especially with the sunny weather and the numerous sweeping curves. We left the train in Matamata, but fortunately DBR 1254 didn't do the same thing. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this coverage of the DBR's excursion.